Hi, this is Avalon from Crafts Direct, and in this video I will be showing you how you can make some resin flower push pins. Now these are really fun because it's a great way to add an accent to a bulletin board, something that you might already have at home. Otherwise, you can add magnets to the back of them and put them on your fridge. Lots of fun things you can do with them. So follow along and I will show you step by step how you can make these resin push pins. The first thing you will do is put on some gloves, and then you just want to make sure you have proper ventilation and a drop cloth, and you might even want a mask. You will then label your small cups with an R and an H for resin and hardener, so that if you use the cups again, you know which substances go into what cups. You will then pour your resin into the cup labeled with an R and your hardener into the cup labeled with an H. And you just want to make sure that you are pouring equal parts resin and hardener. So I like to put the cups side by side and even get eye level with it to make sure that I am pouring equal parts. Since this project is a little bit smaller, you will only have to fill the cups up about halfway, and you will then pour the resin and the hardener into a larger cup, and you will then stir it together for 3 minutes. You want to make sure that you stir slowly so that you aren't creating more air bubbles. And so you will stir slowly for those 3 minutes. It may seem really long, but it's an important part of this process. After those 3 minutes are up, I set aside my resin for 5 to 10 minutes. This seems to help some of the bubbles pop. And then after those 10 minutes are up, I take a heat gun and just add a little bit of heat to the top of the resin to also help get rid of some of those bubbles. Take your resin and pour a small amount of it into a smaller cup. You will then take some of your crystals and add it to that small cup and mix it into your resin. You will then pour that resin into the flower mold, but this time you are only going to pour it into the center of the flower. You don't want to put any of the resin into any of the spots where the petals will be. Just pour into the center of it. Next, you will take an upholstery tack and you will put it in the center of the resin. And then you will take your heat gun and add some heat to the top and the bottom of the mold just to help pop any bubbles. Set your mold aside for about 20 minutes to let the resin cure. And then once you've done that, you will take your leftover resin, you will add some pink dye, stir it together, and then add it to the rest of the mold, filling it up all the way to the top and covering the whole mold. Add some heat with the heat gun to help pop some bubbles, and then set it aside to cure for 24 hours. You will then repeat the same steps we did before, except now you will add some purple resin to your other flower mold. Then make sure that you set that one aside as well for 24 hours before you take it out of the mold. After your 24 hours are up, you then can take your push pins out of the mold and see your beautiful creations. Next, you can use your push pins, add them to your favorite bulletin board. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can shop all the supplies to make these resin flowers at craftsdirect.com/projects.